Congressman Tom Emmer from Minnesota is the majority whip in the House. Sir, good to have you with us this morning. The big question, which I know you're getting, is where things stand. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise saying last night, despite all this harsh criticism from the party, the caucus is coming together around the legislation. So this morning, do you agree? Do you have the votes?
Oh, yeah, it's going to pass today. A lot of this is fun for the media and people who like to watch human beings have disagreements. But at the end of the day, the House Republicans know what's at stake. That's one of the reasons that Kevin McCarthy tried to get this done starting the moment this new Congress began. It's one of the reasons that under his leadership, Republicans passed a bill to avoid default more than a month ago. And it took the president, the White House, more than 100 days to actually sit down and start getting serious. This is a great deal for Republicans. This is a $2.1 trillion cut. This is a major victory for Republicans, and it'll pass today.
So you're calling this a major victory for Republicans. Look, the president has been very complimentary about it as well. Give us a sense. You're confident it will pass. Can you give us a sense of the numbers this morning? Can you get as high as 150?
We whipped for 218 Republicans. That'll be our goal, to get 218 plus on the Republican side of the aisle to vote for the deal tonight.
In terms of where things stand, as you know, the criticism has been loud. It has been consistent from some of the more hardline members of your party. And I just want to share some of those moments that we've been hearing with our viewers, because I want to get your take on some of this. You know, if the bill passes, as we know, this doesn't mean it's the end of the problems potentially for Speaker McCarthy. You have Dan Bishop saying he would consider this motion to vacate, saying that the speaker made, in his words, an unrecoverable error. Chip Roy, spokesman, confirming to CNN that if this deal can't be killed, that they're going to have to reassess and maybe take a look at the leadership arrangement. Do you believe that the speaker's job at this point, that gavel, is in jeopardy?
Look, I know that those Republican members are great members. The group of Republicans, there's a lot of emotion because there's a lot of frustration. I mean, they are watching an administration that has driven spending to a level that's caused double-digit inflation. People are paying more at the grocery store, more at the gas pump. It's just harder to get by. And these people want to get something done for the American people. I understand that they didn't get everything they wanted in this deal, but this is a good deal. I mean, it's a $2.1 trillion cut. It has permitting reform in it. It actually has a provision in it that's going to force the Senate for once to start working on appropriations bills. This is a good first step forward to trying to fix what's been broken in Congress.
You're calling this a good first step forward, what's been broken in Congress. There's been a lot made about the fact that, look, if you have unhappy people on both sides, perhaps that is the sign of an actual negotiation and some bipartisan work up there down there, rather, I should say, in Washington. When you hear words, though, like unrecoverable error from Congressman Bishop, I found it interesting, Douglas Brinkley telling the Washington Post, both sides ultimately blinked. This is what American politics is all about. Do you believe the error that he's referring to was a negotiation, was both sides coming together and each one having to give a little bit?
No, I think from Dan's perspective, he's a thoughtful guy and he works very hard at these issues. He wanted more. He wanted more in the deal. He wanted some things that dropped out, some additional work requirements. He wanted some additional things when it came to spending cuts. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, this deal had Republican priorities in it because, of course, the only people that passed a bill were the Republicans. It is a good thing that the White House did finally decide to sit down and have a negotiation. At the end of the day, this is a $2.1 trillion cut. It is the first step. The next step is going to be the appropriations process. And then, of course, there's an election next year where I think the issue will be how Republicans would spend your money versus how Democrats would, and our national security. That's a winning issue for us.
You talk about that cut, estimates from the Congressional Budget Office. There is also an estimate that changes to SNAP would actually increase federal spending by about $2.1 billion. Are you concerned about that?
That came out last night. The math is wrong.
And you say the math is flat out wrong.
We need to see their homework on this because.
But you're okay with the other part of that equation. But the SNAP part is wrong?
Actually, what came out last night, if you'll let me finish, is there are some inconsistencies with their calculations and what they're including and not including. In fact, they're pricing in things that are already happening. So this is a little bit, we've had a problem every once in a while with the CBO. For instance, there was a motion, a vote to eliminate the Department of Education. You're eliminating a 4,000 person department, and they said that was going to cost the federal government money. We don't just accept what the CBO puts out. We do check their homework. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with the other stuff. The one that just came out last night, there's some suspect numbers in there.
So when do you think you'll have those checked?
We'll be doing it this morning. It just came out last night.
Okay. Well, we look forward to hearing more on that. And are you feeling confident in terms of, I know you said you have the numbers, you will have the votes. Can you give us a sense of who you may have been able to bring over to your side? We saw some comments specifically from Marjorie Taylor Greene. I won't use her words, but she called it a certain type of sandwich. She seems to be now leaning yes. How many others have you been able to convince?
Hey, all I'm going to tell you is that we do our job. We make sure that we hear our members' concerns. We share with them the accurate details of what is in this legislation so that they can make up their own mind and represent the people that they were sent here to represent. We're going to have the votes tonight. This will pass.
Congressman Tom Emmer, appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.